We'll move on. All right, next on the agenda is the approval of tonight's meeting agenda. Staff, anything to add?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I have 3 additions or changes for tonight's agenda. The first one is the addition of presentation item B for the introduction of this year's Whiz Bang Days ambassadors. So that'll be on there after the first presentation. The second one is an updated resolution for old business item A. Council was emailed this earlier, and it's been updated on the public agenda packet as well. And then the last item is for the voucher, or other business item A, the voucher request pending approval for disbursement. Council was given that report earlier in an email, and a printed copy is also available for viewing tonight. And those are my additions for this agenda.
Thank you, Chase. Council, anything to add or comment on?
Mr. Mayor, hearing none, I move that we approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Agenda has been approved. All right, next we're moving on to the consent agenda. Pursuant to council rules, one motion, non-debatable, will approve the recommendation noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion in separate action. Such items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered immediately following the approval of the balance of the consent agenda. Staff, anything there? Okay. Council, anything you'd like to pull from the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Consent agenda is approved. So what did we approve? We approved City Council meeting minutes from August 4th, 2025. We accepted Senior Commission meeting minutes from June 2nd, 2025. We received the Charter Commission's minutes from June 6th, 2024. We received the Charter Commission minutes from August 15th, 2024. There was approval of some licenses. We approved an Oktoberfest event on September 19th and 20th, 2025 at the Wicked Wart, and we approved a Hy-Vee event. Next on the agenda is presentations. First up is a special thanks to Oscar. We'll each read it.
Hello, my name is Oscar. I'm kicking in.
Oh, this is just about a presentation.
Oh.
So Oscar is our Growth Through Opportunity cadet.
Yeah.
As you remember, we were here on June 3rd, and we kind of kicked off the summer with Oscar. So over the last about 10 weeks, Oscar was able to work at the various departments within the city, and got to do a bunch of different jobs. So on his last day, we did a couple things. Took a nice tour of the water treatment facility, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then we went out to lunch and we just talked about everything he did. And I only saw him a few times at the police department. So when we started going through this list, it was pretty impressive. And I'll just go through some of the stuff real quick. And which place did you like the best? Which place did you like to work at the best?
The City Hall.
Yes. He said things earlier. Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm just kidding. All right, so at the police department, he cleaned the gym, he cleaned the garage. He helped put all those bags together for National Night Out that we handed out to a bunch of different parties, which he was awesome at. He attended National Night Out, so if you saw him out at different parties, he was riding around with Officer or Sergeant Schoenhardt, who's also here. Then he also went to the Junior Police Academy that first week he was here. Public Works, he helped line baseball fields, cleared the ice rinks. Water treatment facility tour, he did some street sweeping and storm drain clearing. Park and Rec, he helped with camps, and he said he really liked that because he got to spray the kids with water on a hot day, cold them down. And then he also got to play games with them as well. City Hall, he did some scanning and some shredding. Forestry and engineering, the flocculation plant, he got to check out. Got to check some water levels, some surveying. Cleared trees for the sidewalks so everyone could walk clear of the trees. And then the fire department, we got to clean the fire trucks. And that's amongst other things he got to do over the last 10 or so weeks. So congratulations to Oscar. He was a great help every time we had him around the police department and talking with the various departments and people around. I know any task he got, he really did a good job, and he just went for it. If you had questions, we let him know how to do it, and boy, he just took off and did it on his own. So appreciate all his efforts over these last 10 weeks, and we were thrilled to have him around.
Thank you.
Is there anything you like the best of all that thing we talked about? Is there anything else you want to say, or that you like the best, or like the police department or anything like that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he did run some ride-alongs too. He said he might give his mom a ticket if she was speeding, but he didn't know for sure.
Awesome.
Did you enjoy your time?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Awesome.
Oscar, I'm really glad to hear that. We have a certificate of achievement here for you, but I've got a question. And I want to pay you the respect of pronouncing your name correctly. So is it Oscar Ariola Urrutia?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Urrutia, yeah.
Urrutia? All right. Urrutia. All right. Well, listen, I've got this certificate for you.
We also have a video we'd like
I've
to
got
show
a video
as well.
first.
So
I'm just gonna sit down.
just one minute, yeah.
Put this right here. We've got a video. That was a lot of stuff.
It was. I had to remember everything I did.
Yeah, I mean, the
I
drone.
just-
What about the drone? The drone had to be cool, right? Okay, should I present the award? Okay, so I've got this certificate of achievement for you. And I want you to know that you've always got friends here around.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm just proud that we do that. That's awesome. Really proud of the staff. Thank you guys. All right. Next, we have introduction of this year's Whiz Bang ambassadors.
Hello, my name is Charlotte, and I'm the 2025-2026 Robbinsdale Junior Ambassador.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm the 2025-2026 Robbinsdale Ambassador. Hello, I'm Bella, your 2025-2026 Robbinsdale Ambassador. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amelia, and I'm your 2025-2026 Robbinsdale Princess.
Hi, I'm Jazzy. I'm your 2025-2026 Miss Robbinsdale. The Robbinsdale Ambassadors and the Whiz-Bang Day Committee would like to extend our sincere thanks to the City of Robbinsdale and the City Council for their generous support of Whiz-Bang Day's events over the past years.
We are honored to represent Whiz-Bang Days, Robbinsdale, and the surrounding communities as we participate in events across Minnesota throughout the coming year. It is a privilege to share the spirit of our hometown with others across the state.
Recently, we've had the pleasure of participating in several local events, including the Safety Open House, the Backpack Distribution event at the Gathering, and a number of community parades.
Looking ahead, we're excited to continue contributing to Robbinsdale vibrant community life and to connect with new faces at upcoming celebrations. A few of our scheduled appearances include the Birdtown Boo Bash, the Robbinsdale Mean Greet, and the Noka Parades, Halloween parades.
Thank you again for your continued support. We look forward to another memorable year of the community celebration and connection.
Questions or anything?
Oh, no. I do have and Council, I invite you to have questions as well. Did you have fun? Mm-hmm. Yeah? What was your favorite memory? That's probably a big question for 5 people. Give me just one. Lovely. Lovely, Millie. Council, you guys have any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Mia.
I would just love to extend my thanks to each and every one of you for representing Robbinsdale. It sounds like a long list of events that you've already attended and then events that you have to look forward to. So thank you for representing our great city. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, what does it take to become an ambassador of Robbinsdale
And Whiz-Bang Day.
in Whiz-Bang Days? And yes, what does that look like, that process, for those who are interested out there?
I love how they move in a group.
We had to sign up with like a Google Doc form, and then we had our candidate night out, and we went through like the ice cream social. We went to the Blaine Parade this year as candidates, and then time came for the Robbinsdale Parade and coronation.
Mm-hmm.
That's some work. Well, thank you for being dedicated and wanting to do this for us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Wonderful job. Fantastic whiz-bang. And it was really cool seeing you guys out and about. So I know we had a chance to talk a few times. So it was good to get to know each of you. Thank you.
And if you all want to do a photo, I would recommend.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let's jump with council. Yeah.
We go. Okay, sure.
You guys want to put us up in front of them? Perfect. Okay, Bella, you gotta shift a little to your left because we can't. There you go. Perfect.
I'm going to do a nap.
Yep.
Perfect.
Awesome. Sorry. That's okay, my friend. Let's pull my- Okay, action-packed agenda so far. Here we go. Next up, we have the Met Transit Blue Line Extension Public Light Rail Project Update.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, my name is Heather Rand. I'm the Community Development Director for Robbinsdale. You are correct. The next presentation that we have brought before you, we have 3 representatives from the Met Transit Planning Office. Tonight they will provide you an update on design advancement of the Blue Line Extension Light Rail Project, and will provide an overview of the project schedule. Namely, the 3 individuals are Amada Simula Marquez. She is our Community Outreach Coordinator assigned to Robbinsdale and Crystal. Ryan Kronzer is the Assistant Director of Design and Engineering, and Alicia Vapp, Project Director, who will basically complete the presentation and she will focus more on timeline, next steps, that type of thing. So we think this will be a good overview. And I'm going to call up Amada next and make sure that she's comfortable with the PowerPoint here. So logo is up. I think we're set for the team. Thank you, Chase.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I can start going ahead. I know time is so important during your meetings. Just wanted to give you an update on our Blue Line extension. So in July, the project has reached the 60% design milestone, and tonight we are excited to share some updated graphics, artist renderings of downtown Robbinsdale Station, and a new video of the Lowry Station, and then a brief timeline update. So my name is Amada Marcus Simula. As Heather said, I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for Robbinsdale and Crystal. The Blue Line extension is going to add 13.4 miles of extension, new track, 13 new stations, including 2 right here in Robbinsdale. Of course, there's a downtown station, and then the one at Lowry. And this is going to extend from Target Field up to Highway 610. As you can see, it's going to go all the way north. Robbinsdale, Crystal, and Brooklyn Park will be connected with Minneapolis starting at Target Field. We're going to have fast, frequent, all-day metro service. And there will be a single-seat ride from the Mall of America to the northwest suburbs. Community engagement has been the heart of the work here since 2020. Our team has participated in 900 events, reaching out to over 40,000 people. And in Robbinsdale, we've joined Whiz Bang Days and the parade, and we will be at the meet and greet downtown on September 15th as well. We've also done door-to-door outreach with residents and businesses, and partnered with community-based organizations to make sure that local voices are being heard in the project of cultural placekeeping. So I'm just pleased to share also that the Federal Transit Administration has issued the amended record of decision last week, which officially completes our environmental review. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Kronzer, and he's going to go through the design updates.
Thank you, Amada. Mayor and Council, I want to give a quick update where we've been since municipal consent approval. That was actually about 11 months ago. It might seem like an eternity ago, but it was just the fall of last year. So we continue to work bi-weekly with your city staff. They come to our offices, we review details. We are starting to develop more details, get more specific about things like streetscaping, utilities, ped bike and roadway design, station design, and cultural placekeeping. Now, the cultural placekeeping piece is somewhat of a separate process that is happening with community members throughout the entire year. That will lead to fully designed stations by the end of that process, which will culminate early next year. So the renderings that I show you, the stations are going to look a little generic. That's not the design. You'll see the roofs, but there's a lot more detail and texture and color to add to that. We recently completed our 60% design level drawings. Those have been submitted to city staff, county staff, park board staff, watershed staff for a full review. So that's an ongoing review for the city of Robbinsdale this moment. Okay, so I have a series. We're going to start in downtown Robbinsdale. Here's an illustration of where we are with the station design. You'll see elements that were committed to during the municipal consent design process, some of the enhanced pedestrian and crossing, some of the more enhanced station protection at the intersection. So we're looking north up Bottineau Boulevard. The US Bank and the future Park and Ride site is there in the background. That site is slowly getting developed. We are still working through some right-of-way acquisition questions there. So that development is more like a grayed out thing at this moment, so we don't have a lot to share with you there. But you see Bottineau Boulevard at 2 lanes of roadway on either side of the station with turn lanes as needed. 3 canopies in the station, so the station is a center platform station in the middle of Bottineau Boulevard. This image is looking the other direction, so we're a little bit higher up looking south, and you can see town center there in the foreground. This is 41st Avenue in the foreground. We zoomed in, so we're still looking south, but we're closer to the station. You can see kind of what that feels like on the street. We've got street trees, street lighting, potential banners off the street lights, those enhanced crosswalks we talked about last fall, and an example of what the landscaping and the texture at the station might look like. We're back looking north again, so same type of view. This is 40th Avenue, so to the right is the lake and the regional trail access. So there's a nice broad area at that corner to help with bicycles crossing Bottineau Boulevard and leading up through up towards West Broadway. So here's the plan view of that. In addition to reconstructing Bottineau Boulevard, we're also doing significant work on 42nd Street and also 40th Street. So the gray illustrated streets in this plan here. And you can see the orientation representation of that station to downtown Robbinsdale. Yeah, we're going to shift gears and go over to Lowry Station. So Lowry, it's right on the border between Robbinsdale and the city of Minneapolis. There is you can faintly see the line that cuts about a quarter of the way into the station is the city boundary. So North Memorial Hospital is off on our left. We're generally looking north-ish on this plan. As you will recall, we spent a lot of time redesigning this station in the past year. We've been working with city staffs from Robbinsdale, Minneapolis, the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board, North Memorial Hospital, Metro Transit and Hennepin County. So we have a grade-separated design here. So what that means is the light rail tracks do not cross the Parkway or Lowry Avenue at grade. Lowry Avenue goes over the railroad tracks, and light rail goes over the Parkway. So we have a video. The aerial arrows show the path of the video just to get a little bit of orientation. So on the right, lower right, that's Theodore Wirth Parkway. So that'll go underneath what is called West Broadway at this point. We'll go underneath light rail, go underneath West Broadway, swing around, and then go under Lowry. So there is no direct connection at this point from the Parkway to Lowry or West Broadway. Those connections are just a block or two off of the screen. Looking at Lowry, Lowry then rises up, goes over the Parkway, goes over light rail, and transitions into Oakdale Avenue as it approaches the hospital. So what's created here is actually a 408 intersection where today folks need to use the Parkway to circle around to get certain directions on County Road 81. Here, Lowry Avenue intersects with Oakdale and Bottineau Boulevard in one simple intersection. Okay, time for a video. Just start. There we go. So we're going fairly north. This is West Broadway, and you can see the LRT train. So the Parkway is going underneath those 3 bridges. The station is off to our left. So we're starting to turn north. We're still in Minneapolis here. You can see the bikeway. That's the Grand Rounds bike trail and pedestrian path. And we're going to swing around and head west to go back underneath the bridges towards the station here.
You're still south on our.
And then we're going west here. And we'll turn here to look at the station. So this is a side platform station, which means there's smaller platforms on either side of the set of tracks. And then now we're going to look towards North Memorial. It's just off to the right there. There you see it in the background. So we're adding a significant number of acreage of usable park land with this design. So there you have it. Okay. That concludes my presentation. I'll hand it over to Alicia.
Good evening. So wanted to talk a little bit about our timeline to construction, our schedule. So you heard our exciting news about our amended record of decision. So that's great news and progress from the Federal Transit Administration. So soon our Met Council has to take an action in September to conclude the Minnesota environmental process, and then we will be at least concluded with the actions that are required for environmental. But as you can see, the environmental process will continue throughout the life of the project, continuing through the planning and then through construction of the design. So there are a lot of commitments and mitigation that were made as part of the environmental process. So the supplemental final environmental impact statement does include a number of items. Our team is going to be starting to work with community members and your city staff and others throughout the community to kind of flesh out what those commitments look like and provide a lot more detail in the coming months. So that will continue. Design progression, like Ryan talked about, will continue. That will continue until our documents are ready for bidding sometime in 2027. We are anticipating receiving a full funding grant agreement from the Federal Transit Administration, the FTA. We will be submitting an application in 2026 and looking to receive that application later that year. We have been working closely with them on those steps, and that's the schedule that we have worked out so far with them. And so that puts our construction starting sometime later in 2027. Other work that's continuing that you've probably heard about is the anti-displacement work, and so that work continues again through design advancement. Our team is going to be presenting at a number of these meetings to talk about the environmental mitigation, continued coordination with the Blue Line Coalition and all the community groups that are involved in that work. And then, as Amata said, we are continuing and focusing on community engagement. That's a big part of our project. We have a lot of touch points with community members, business members, cities, and so that's something that will continue until we're ready for construction. I think that's the end of our presentation. So thank you so much for your time, and we're ready for questions. Yep.
Thank you. Clearly a lot of work has gone in. Council, any questions?
Oh, you go.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you to the project staff that's here. Alicia, just maybe can you expand a little bit on some of the mitigation things that were found and what you're going to be working on, or what can we expect, I guess, especially when it comes to Robbinsdale. Can you provide any insight on what that looks like right now?
Sure, and we'd be happy to provide more information. We have a very lengthy environmental mitigation matrix that's being developed that will be shared at our October Quarter Management Committee meeting, and we're happy to provide that information to the rest of the City Council as it gets further outlined. A few examples are some grants and loans to small businesses. I'm trying to think of other things that I can think of off the top of my head. Right. Noise testing will continue, and mitigation for that as well. So those are a few examples, and again, we're happy to provide a lot more detail from our environmental staff.
Great.
Requested.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I guess in going back to the community outreach portion, when are the next meet? Do you have any of those dates right now? It sounds like the business Chamber of Commerce event is going to be a.
So we are in very constant contact with Tim and Heather, so we get to hear about what events are happening, and we will be at the September 15th meet and greet downtown. So we were told bring 1,000 pieces to hand out, so we will do that.
Sure.
And then there's a farmer's market, I believe, that we're going to try to be at, and also when we go to when I'm at different events, let's say even in Crystal, you have a lot of community members who go between Crystal and Robbinsdale, and so I'm always asking, where are you from, and they're in different parts of the cities and the region, and interested to hear kind of how it's going to connect, not just their own stop, but my mom lives in Robbinsdale, and now I'm on this part of the city or whatever. So there's a lot of overlap. So I would say just for Robbinsdale, we do have our community cultural placekeeping is on the 27th of August, and that is at Elim Church. And then we have, the meet and greet is coming up. So those are the two things that are coming up for that. And then, of course, we have our biweekly meetings with staff, too.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Other questions from the council? I had one. Construction's to begin in 2027, right? And I'm a little unclear, how does because isn't there something where Met Council has to evaluate now this versus bus rapid transit? Isn't that how does that impact this plan?
So as part of the design process and the supplemental final environmental impact statement, those comparison has happened in previous iterations, and so maybe what you're thinking of is the legislature is requiring the Met Council to conduct a bus study.
Yeah.
So that's in process. That will be delivered by the June 15th deadline next year.
Okay, great, thank you.
Can I ask another question, Mayor?
Yeah, please.
And then I guess going off of deadlines and dates, the matching federal money that I know that this application is all part of that. When is the estimated timeline on when we'll know if they're going to, I guess maybe two parts, approve our kind of plan and what we've given them so far, and then also tell us if they're willing to fund the project?
Sure, yeah. So I feel like there's a couple pieces to that. So the first is we actually look at the FTA completing our environmental process and issuing the amended record of decision as pretty good news and great progress. We're excited by that news. So that's a step in the right direction by FTA. Second, we are in a monthly coordination with FTA. And so we have been working with them very closely throughout the length of the project. We would be applying for federal funds next year in the spring, and then we would be anticipating to know maybe within the next 6 months after we apply. So sometime next year.
Okay, so that sounds like maybe fall of next year. Okay, great, thank you.
Right.
Councilmember Greenberg.
Yeah, so you mentioned the U.S. Bank location and the park and ride is kind of a grayed out area. And it sounds like there's continuing work there. Does that mean continuing work as in we're looking towards eminent domain, or can you share more detail on where you're at with the U.S. Bank location?
Sure, I can certainly recap where we were. And I think this council and Mr. Mayor, you remember how city staff, planning staff, and the project office staff met with representatives from U.S. Bank, last fall and early this year. We were trying to what I call layer cake everyone's intended redevelopment projects into the site. But bottom line, we were hearing that just wasn't something that US Bank had wanted. Since then, we did have the developer come in early this year, their chosen developer, and by there I mean US Bank, who was just more or less inquiring where we're at and what was the city going to do. I think we're all in kind of a holding pattern. I want you to know I have not been contacted directly by US Bank or that developer since they were here at the council meeting, with the exception of, I think, Tim, we had a clarifying meeting of kind of what would the next steps be if they wanted to move forward. And, we were suggesting they could fill out a financial assistance application if indeed they were interested in some kind of redevelopment project on that site. And I don't believe we've seen any further action. And I think, though, your question tonight was, you were just trying to get clarification of how is this team maybe working with US Bank, right? And I don't know if they have anything concrete really to update you on tonight, other than you saw in the visual, there is a sliver of land that US Bank could still, we think, utilize with respect to this project and the program needs for the park and ride and the bus terminal. But I'm gonna let Ryan, if he wants to, speak more to that. But what I was seeing was just, the gray, which was indicating at the US Bank block that, they just haven't moved forward with that portion of this yet. The focus really has been on the actual rail line itself and the stations.
Yes, thanks, Heather, Mayor, and council members. I would just add and maybe just reinforce what Heather said. We designed the transit center park and ride to allow for space for US Bank to build a bank. It's certainly debatable if it's the right size and if they fit their program. Our architects seem to think it fits, but we're kind of in this, until we make a move with the right-of-way world for acquisition, we're really kind of stuck on what they haven't been they haven't been coming back to us, so we're kind of just holding for a moment.
Can I just?
Yeah.
So
Please.
one just bit of clarification. So does that mean that it's like it will be unclear until when?
We will need to be able to make offers on properties. Until we make that offer, that's when the negotiations will start again.
Okay.
So that'll be later next year, probably. Yeah.
Later next year?
Next year, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Then I had one more.
Please ask it.
Thanks. You discussed in the mitigation conversation, the noise testing and mitigation for noise. I know that just having been involved applies to the trains themselves, but I'm wondering if there's anything that includes the stations. So there's noise that's associated with the stations, and I'm just wondering if that is part of the mitigation or if that's included in the matrix.
Yeah, so I would say most of the mitigation in terms of the environmental mitigation would be mostly noise from the train itself, and that would cover any of the noise from the stations. The stations themselves are relatively quiet. There's announcements, but other than that, most of the noise, I would say, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong from what you remember. Yep, and then we have bells from the trains as well. So those are the items that would be covered under the noise testing.
So announcements at the station and alerts from the train coming into the station. So just
Correct.
Like station area, I guess. Is that
Correct. So when the train is pulling in, it makes the kind of dinging.
It's like a chime.
Yeah, no noise.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to replicate.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. And so that's the noise that you would hear if you were on an LRT platform.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
This is maybe a question for staff, but so if I'm understanding this, obviously US Bank needs to move if this park and ride transit center is going to go where it's going to go. We know that the multi-use site was a bit of a challenge. And to be clear, what we don't know is if US Bank plans to stay and move or just not be here, right? That's the part that's unclear.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I think that's a fair summation. As Mr. Kronzer noted, the discussion that's happening between the two entities right now that will dictate the result, is ongoing, and I think that milestone for the ability to meet the threshold for property acquisition will be very telling as to who's playing what card going forward.
Oh, it'd be tragic to lose a bank. Okay. Well, any other questions? Okay. Thank you. I mean, it's beautiful. So, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Next on the agenda is the Elevate Hennepin initiative to support local entrepreneurs.
Yes, again, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'm going to introduce Lily Shaw, who is the Economic Development Manager with Hennepin County. We've invited here tonight to give an update on Elevate Hennepin. Many of you have heard about this program, and in fact, a few of you have taken a vote on a multi-jurisdictional contract for 2 years, where our city and other Hennepin County cities are actually contributors to this program. But I would say, in a large part, it's really about Hennepin County and their staff, who've done a wonderful job contracting out with some excellent people who provide some wonderful services to the entrepreneurs and the businesses in our community and the rest of Hennepin County. So with that, Lily, why don't you present your information, and then she certainly is prepared to answer questions afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Hello, Mayor.
Hello.
Council members. I'm Lily Shaw, I'm the Economic Development Manager in Hennepin County that oversees Elevate Hennepin. And this evening, I'd really look forward to sharing the information about Elevate Hennepin, which is the Hennepin County's flagship business support initiative. I first have to say it's really hard to overstate the case on how important small businesses are. They're our lifeblood. And in Hennepin County alone, we have a total of about 40,000 business establishments. 96% of them have fewer than 100 employees, and 70% have less than 10. And we know that by creating an equitable system, an equitable ecosystem with accessible paths for entrepreneurship, we can create economic growth. And that's where Elevate Hennepin comes in. We implemented this pathway and initiative that houses all of the county's business support resources. We launched it in 2020 when businesses were struggling with the impacts of the pandemic and civil unrest. And we were fortunate enough to convene a diverse group of business owners appointed by the board, serving as volunteers on a business advisory council to guide the county in our economic relief and recovery efforts. And that diverse member of the council spoke with a unified voice that businesses needed the following: one place where they could go to access resources, advisors and consultants, and peer-to-peer cohort programming and learning, all with no barriers to entry and all at no cost. We have done that and then continued to add additional services as we listen to business owners. Those additional services have been business navigators to help those businesses get to the right resource, and small business financing to help them get to the next step. But as Heather said, we haven't done it alone. We are pleased to have 19 city partners, including Robbinsdale, that have not only invested financially, but also help us spread the word. We value your partnership. Thank you for being a part of Elevate Hennepin. As I mentioned earlier, Elevate Hennepin starts with a curated hub of resources. In developing our signature brand of Elevate Hennepin and this website, pictured here, we wanted a vibrant, welcoming location to get information and resources and support in one place. We listened to our business leaders who told us that they needed one single online source for resources instead of wasting valuable time going to multiple locations. Our online resource directory, you can note it says resource directory right up at the top, holds over 140 resources that you can filter by area of support, interest, language, or stage. These are local, state, or national. And there are no user accounts needed. There are no passwords needed, and there are no intakes that take longer than 3 to 10 minutes. And in parallel with our website, we also strengthened our outreach with our newsletter that is delivered twice a month and now reaches 11,000 readers. And here we share stories, new resources, and applications and openings, and more. Our primary program under Elevate Hennepin is our one-on-one advising program. We contract with over 34 advisors to help deliver our one-on-one resources. Business owners can access up to 25 hours with each advisor at no cost in over 10 areas of expertise. We created intake forms located on the website you just saw that take only 3 to 5 minutes to complete, that notify an advisor of your interest, and they are in touch within 48 hours. Our advisors are local, diverse, and expert in their areas of support. Each advisor works uniquely to create a scope of work to support an entrepreneur with those sometimes expensive and often challenging next steps. Our 10 areas of support are anything from access to capital to help arrange that paperwork to get funding, accounting, business strategy, certification, financial management, human resources, ideas stage, legal support, marketing, and finally technology. We know that these are a lot of resources for entrepreneurs to sift through. And so we chose to bring on Hennepin County business navigators that can do one-to-one calls with people Monday through Friday for 10 to 15 minutes to help narrow down what they're looking for and refer them to the right resources, either Elevate Hennepin resources or other resources that might be available to them. We so far have serviced over 1,700 since inception of doing business navigation. Now, I'd like to move forward and share information about our cohorts or our peer learning. Over the past several years, we have created a suite of programs that entrepreneurs at varying stages can participate in at no cost. We work with the strongest curriculum vendors we can find and train local facilitators to move participants forward. Our programs go from 2 days all the way up to 8 months, and they can serve anywhere from 15 to 24 businesses per cohort. We go from idea stage, starting with the CEO boot camp, CEO Start, moving up to sort of the middle area with CEO Now, growing into CEO Next, Certified Access, and then our highest level, which is CEO Next, that helps businesses that have over 10 employees and up to $5 million. Applications are quick and easy, 5 to 10 minutes. Again, no passwords, nothing like that to be able to get into one of our programs. In addition to our suite of programs, we continue to listen to our business owners' needs and have added the following offers, again at no cost: an online membership to the Coven's digital library with entrepreneurial curriculum and networking connectivity, small business capital fund that we launched this year with selected advisor Next Stage, to distribute small business loans and commercial ownership loans with the $4.2 million investment from Hennepin County. These loans are on a specific focus and emphasis on low barrier financing for startups and established small businesses. Our monthly virtual 90-minute Get Started workshop for early stage entrepreneurs, master classes focusing on hot topics such as pitching or getting the word out, as well as our Thriving Thursdays office hours hosted at City Partners. Through all the items I have shared, we have seen one-on-one advising, our cohort learning, and our other programs actually making an impact. I'd like to report that these strategies are working. This map gives an idea of the wide breadth of businesses that have accessed Elevate Hennepin throughout the county. To date, Elevate Hennepin has served over 3,200 businesses with over 41,000 hours of support through our one-on-one advising. We have launched over 200 businesses through advising support, and we had graduated over 200 businesses from our cohort programs and facilitated the financing of over $35 million. And to bring it more local, we have served up to 145 businesses registered in Robbinsdale with over 300 hours of service since 2024. Our new 2025 dashboard and Q1 and Q2 data showing increased support will be shared on September 17th with city partners. We continue to listen to the community through biannual satisfaction surveys, storytelling, and conversations with business clients, as well as listening to what their needs are for ongoing support and ongoing growth. I encourage you to explore elevatehennepin.org or sign up for our Elevate Hennepin newsletter. These resources are for you and for all of your businesses. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Can you go back to that slide of the Robbinsdale one? I just want to.
Sure. Boom, there you go. So since inception, 2020 through 2024, we served 145 businesses. In 2024, it was 12 businesses. Our total amount of support from 2020 to 2024 is 303 hours of service through one-on-one advising. These numbers don't currently involve our cohorts because we're just putting our cohort data together. So in September, our cohort data will also be involved. And so this is, we also have a new dashboard that's coming out. They'll be a little bit more interactive, and we've been working with Heather. We share these dashboards out as well as a list of the businesses that have accessed the support.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Could I get this?
Absolutely.
Love the slide.
Happy to send it to you. Yeah.
Council, do you have questions?
I just have a comment. This is, I mean, I think I was aware of Elevate and some of the work there, but I wasn't aware of the depth. And so I think this is really awesome to hear and see. I know a few people who have gone through the program itself, and it's just amazing that it's free services and an opportunity for anybody who's aware, which goes back to the awareness piece of taking advantage of this. So I think I can do my due diligence as well too, and continue to highlight and talk about the opportunities that exist as I'm speaking with people. So thank you for the reminder again.
Absolutely.
See ya. Yeah.
Thank you.
Councilmember.
Thank you, Lily, for a wonderful presentation. Especially, and thank you, Councilmember Greenberg, for highlighting this slide. That's something that I really appreciate, is to see the local impact, and so thank you for including this data. And another thing that I'll share, based on the presentation, it sounds like this program puts a lot of thought and care into the user experience. And when I think about someone who's thinking about starting a business or in the beginning of starting a business, they have a lot on their plate. And so to put that intention and care into welcoming them with low barrier point of entry, equitable services, hands-on learning, and these cohorts, I think it's fantastic, and I'm really glad that the city of Robbinsdale can be a part in supporting that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that, I mean, looks like it's going gangbusters. Is there anything that you'd like to see from the city?
I look forward to presenting at the chamber. I think we're speaking with Heather, and look forward to connecting with more of your businesses. So spread the word as much as you can.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, after that wonderful presentation, and it really was wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's move on.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we have no new business to discuss, but we have other business. No, I don't. I'm going back to old business. So we don't have a public hearing, but we do have old business, and that is award the sale of the 2025 GO bonds.
Mr. Mayor, Council, so I'll invite the Finance Director, Mr. Toon, up. He'll be joined by Ms. Hogan from Baker Tilly. Share a bit of information. Want to note, for those that maybe looked at the packet prior to today, some materials weren't available as the sale literally happened here this morning. So we'll have, I guess I'm not sure which in order, a continuation certainly of a conversation we've been having at the council level here for the last couple of months. You guys set this process into motion again for the sale that literally happened this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. My name is Chris Hogan. I'm here from Baker Tilly, serving the city as the municipal advisor. Again, I'm here tonight to share the results of the bond sale that the city did earlier this morning. So the city sold $8,650,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2025A. Proceeds of those bonds will be used to finance the construction of capital improvements to the city's public works building, construction of various street reconstruction projects, infrastructure improvements to Sanborn Park, acquisition of various items of equipment, construction of water utility improvements to Water Tower 2, construction of various storm sewer utility projects, and of course paying the cost of issuance on the bonds. The repayment term of the bonds is a 10-year repayment term. The debt service bonds will be paid with a combination of general ad valorem tax levies, abatement revenues from certain abatement parcels, and net revenues from the city's water and storm utilities. As of mid-July, we were showing a market rate, a true interest cost of 3.89%. Last week, we always like to update shortly or right before the sale based on the current market conditions. So we are estimating a true interest cost end of last week at 3.25, and the actual results came in just even a little bit lower than that at 3.2056. This is the list of the bidders that bid on the bonds. So we had 8 bidders here. The lowest bid was by Robert W. Baird and Company. But if you look at those 8 bids, you can see just how close those are. And again, this is really showing how a competitive bid it works and really get good results. This is just a snapshot of the bond sale pricing. So they're priced with coupons higher than the yield, which means that it generates a premium, which is additional bond proceeds. The premium was $760,000, which we had estimated, I think, $420,000. So you were able to use that additional $200,000 to reduce the borrowing amount of the bond. So the bond size went down. So part of a public sale is bonds generally need to have a rating on them. So we went through a rating process. Tim, Dia, and I, we worked with S&P. We do a rating call. They provide a list of questions, and we went on the call. Then they go to committee, and they come back with a rating. So S&P assigned a rating of AA+, which is exceptional. It's the second, the highest you can get is AAA. It's one notch lower than that. So it's an exceptional rating. These are just some of the reasons why you get your bonds rated. It provides a measure of the city's financial strength and the ability to repay the debt. It serves as an independent third-party assessment, supplements investors' due diligence, and like I said, the stronger the rating, the lower interest cost, so lower cost of borrowing. I like to highlight, so with a credit rating, you get a credit report, and I like to just kind of highlight some of those things in the report because it's, especially in this case, just some really great feedback. So these are some of the items that S&P put in their report. As an overview, they said the city is a stable local economy serving as a bedroom community for the Twin Cities Metro. Healthy fund balance has remained stable. Proactive financial management policies and practices. Going on to credit highlights, healthy reserve position, robust long-term capital planning, manageable debt and liability profile, and strong market value growth. They always provide factors that could lead to an upgrade and a downgrade, but upgrade, they noted that economic profile metrics, I lost my picture. Economic profile metrics increase specifically improved local effective buying income is one factor that they would consider an upgrade. So I am recommending, based on a really awesome sale results and of course an amazing credit score of the AA+, approving the resolution awarding the $8,350,000 general obligation bonds series 2025A to Robert W. Baird and Company based on their low bid of 3.2056%. And I'm happy to take questions.
I mean, that's excellent work.
Yeah, nice work.
Great results. Yep.
And again, hats off staff and Dia for keeping us in this position to be able to get such a good interest rate on the very expensive things we need to do. So really nicely done.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading of and authorize a resolution awarding the sale of general obligation bond series 2025A as detailed in the updated attachment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. Congratulations. Sold.
Thank you.
All right. So now there's new business and on to other business. Vouchers request pending approval for disbursement. Anything to note? No? Okay. Any questions from council?
Hearing none, I move that we approve the voucher requests.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Okay. That passes. Next up, we have scheduling a special work session.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, what you have in front of you is noted from time to time. Council will set a special work session. We're asking that council set one for 6 p.m. September 16th. This is an hour prior to your regularly scheduled meeting. We'll certainly get a bit more information out in the coming weeks.
Okay.
Works for me.
Does that work for everyone?
Tuesday, September 16th. Let me just double check the old calendar here. I think it does.
Good to go.
Yes. Great. All right.
I'll make a motion to schedule a special work session for 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no or nay. All right. Scheduled. Next is administrative reports.
Mr. Mayor, Council's got a few items to share some updates on. I want to share out for maybe those watching at home tonight or in the future with the broadcast. Start maybe by framing up, offering my thanks to Council. We've not had a full culmination, but tonight was a milestone in the 2026 budget process. The Council continues to work very well together. As I often frame up for the public, not just a decision, but a set of decisions that go into it, probably the most complicated and difficult set of decisions that you have to do. Certainly don't take them lightly. Very good at consensus making. So we as staff are very appreciative as we move forward. For those, again, watching at home, the next big step, of course, is setting the preliminary not to exceed levy. That will occur the 16th of September here in a few weeks. Do want to call out a couple of things. It was a good turnout. I'm sure we'll hear a bit more about it, but for the MACV, ribbon cutting here last week, fun to see everybody come out and celebrate the success of another great project here in town. Look forward to continued partnership with that group. Want to, again, in the perspective of being grateful for council supporting the efforts, the GTO cadet, my thanks to Oscar, all the staff that made that work. 10 weeks, a bunch of different departments. Certainly a lot of fun for everybody, but it's not something that just happens, so sharing my appreciation for that. And then as we get, hate to say it, towards the back end of summer, still a lot of fun stuff going on. Movie in the Park coming up here this week yet. And then a couple of items downtown on West Broadway. Wheels of Italy hosting their annual, and then the meet and greet with the Chamber group. It'll be the 15th of September, so look forward to continued fun out and about.
Fantastic. All right. Chase, anything from you? Nope. Okay. All right. Council General Communications. Karen Wagner. Yes, go ahead, Councilmember Wagner.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I guess just thanks for the reminder, Tim, about the MACV opening. Yeah, just thank you to staff for accommodating the project team for that and for working with various regulatory and nonprofit bodies that it took to make that happen. And and thank you to our Congresswoman Ilhan Omar for getting funding for that project in part, and then also to MACV just as their organization as a whole. You know, I have family members that are veterans, and seeing the services they provide and the care that they give towards people that served our country and kind of sacrificed a lot to for their communities. I just think it's a really good mission and a really good organization, and I'm very thrilled that our community has welcomed them with open arms, and I'm excited to meet our new neighbors, and that's all I have.
Excellent.
You can go back and forth. I'll go.
I have nothing further to say. Thank you.
All right. Let's make a
Okay, yeah. I just want to say, as the school year, as summer does wind down, realistically, and school year is about to begin, just to remember, kids are going to be out, people are going to be out and about, just to transitioning and preparing for that. So, congratulations and welcome back to school for those young ones, and as parents and guardians and individuals who are supporting them as well too. Just know that our community is behind you, and good luck in this transition. As always, just continue to say hi to your neighbors. Looking forward to the meet and greet. Come as well too, and yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you, council.
Thank you,
staff.
Yeah, Councilmember Greenberg.
So I want to make sure everyone's aware that the response and input is open for the renaming of Sanborn Park. So that's going to go until early September. Is there
17th.
The 17th, mid-September? So if you have a suggestion, and you can go on to the city website, it gives the background of why we're changing the name, in addition to being able to submit ideas. The other thing I wanted to say is thanks to staff and Public Works and Public Safety for the open house, a great event. Just appreciate so many people from Robbinsdale turned out, but it was great to see a lot of kids and all the different demonstrations and everything. So it was a great event, and really, one of those things that, in addition to the meet and greet and whiz bang days, that makes Robbinsdale unique and have that small town connected feel. And that is really important. So love having that event, that it's an annual event, and that we get such a great turnout, and all the people that help make it happen. Thank you. I also wanted to call out, we had a discussion in our last work session about the camping ordinance, and I think we had in that discussion brought up the capability of certain items can be revisited, and I think I want to make sure that the council is in agreement that we're open to having, in this special case, another conversation to kind of move that ball forward. I don't, if Tim, you can guide me if that's not the appropriate way to put it, but I think you know what I'm trying to get at.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Greenberg, I think in summary, there was a question following the camping on public property ordinance discussion that was voted down, whether or not an item can be brought back within 6 months. As we discussed at the work session, it's a council policy that you've established. So if council has appetite to bring back the discussion with additional information, staff can take that directive and prepare additional materials. So if the question is to council, again, I'd want to make sure that there is interest to bring that conversation back. It can certainly be done by way of head nod. We can certainly bring it to a work session and discuss what you would and would not like. But I think what you're suggesting is that there is an opportunity to bring the discussion back with council appetite.
Yes. So I think by way of head nod, if we can show the city manager our...
Yeah, I mean, I can, so what I'll nod my head, because what I heard when we talked about this last month was looking for some compassion and consideration of the input that the HRC had given, right? And so I think that's what we're saying, right? We're going to bring those things to the table and have another discussion about the ordinance. So I'm in alignment with that. I agree. A work session.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get your nods?
I think I've got about 2.5.
What does a half nod look like?
If I could hear from a third council member that they're willing to have the discussion, I'd be happy to prepare materials.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be open to having that discussion.
Okay. All right.
Great, thank you. And then last but not least, it's my father-in-law's birthday, so I'd be remiss if I didn't
Whoa.
wish Floyd Anderson a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All right. Well, I'll keep it short and sweet because you guys hit all the good stuff with McPhee and a lot of the other great things happening. I think a lot of people don't know, but we had a new mayor today for about 4 hours, and that was Mason Knudsen. And he took over for me for a little bit and went and toured RPD and Public Works and the water treatment facility and came back to City Hall and even sat right here and ran part of a meeting. So
Nice.
I thought Mason did an absolutely stellar job. And Mason, if you or your family's listening, you've got a lot to be proud of. So great job today, Mason.
Nice.
Other than that, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Great week. Okay.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Meeting adjourned.